Holy crap, it actually happened. Nearly 7 years after I first created this channel, I've hit 1,000 subscribers. That's crazy. Although, knowing my luck, that'll probably change by the time this video gets uploaded. But whatever, I took a screenshot, so I have proof that it really happened once. Anyway, I thought it would be fun to celebrate this occasion by looking back at my favourite YouTube memories. So I'm going to be counting down the top 10 events that have happened throughout the course of my YouTube career. And yes, I know that my pitifully small YouTube channel could hardly be called a career, but I'm going to call it that anyway. That were really important or were just generally a lot of fun to be a part of. Stuff that really makes me look back at my almost 7 years of YouTube and say, yeah, my time on the internet has been well spent. Anyway, let's stop messing about and get right to it. Number 10. Eating challenges. Yep, starting off with good quality, highbrow entertainment that you would normally expect from my channel. This was a short-lived phase that I went through a couple of years ago, where I set myself difficult challenges and then had to eat something horrible if I failed. Much to my dismay, every challenge was a failure, so I ended up regularly subjecting myself to the consumption of hot peppers and Marmite, usually with some royalty-free music in the background to try and emphasize the pain I was in. And these challenges were awful to suffer through. There's a reason why I stopped doing them. But in spite of that, these videos make me smile every time I watch them. I feel like the results of these eating challenges were always good for a laugh, and that's why I remember them so fondly. If you ever want to see me in pain, and let's be honest, why wouldn't you, then take a look at one of my hot pepper videos or my Marmite video. The facial expressions I come out with are just fantastic and will probably brighten up your day at least a little bit. Number 9. Let's Try. This was a series that I occasionally updated where I would record myself playing a game for the first time ever. In each case, I had absolutely no idea what I was in for, other than the trailers that I might have seen for the game before I bought it, and that's assuming that I even had that much background knowledge. By and large, my experiences were 100% blind, and it was a lot of fun to capture my first reactions to some of these games. One of my Let's Try videos even marked a serious achievement in my YouTube career. Let's Try Gun Blocks was a video that was specifically requested by the game's developer. Yes, they actually contacted me and asked me to give my first impressions. And just to clarify, no, I was not rewarded for saying nice things about the game. My reactions were completely genuine. As a whole, Let's Try was brilliant fun, but somewhere down the line, I just kind of stopped updating it, but not for any particular reason. There was nothing about it that made me want to quit, I just got caught up in more important things, like my personal life and bigger, more demanding YouTube projects. And for me, once I stop doing something, it's very hard for me to get back into it. Plus, I don't spend nearly as much time on Steam as I used to, so now I very rarely buy small indie games that are ripe for this format of video. So Let's Try is pretty much dead and buried forever, but I still loved making all the videos that I did before, and I'll always fondly remember just how much fun I had playing Octodad for the first time. Number 8. Games that should have been better. This was a very short-lived series that was meant to be a spoof of angry review shows like the Angry Video Game Nerd, JonTron and Cat Icarus. In each episode, I would pick out a good game and praise it to high heaven, only to stumble upon one significant flaw, which in most cases was only a minor inconvenience that could easily be overlooked. Instead of ignoring the issue, I would then react extremely negatively. In most cases, I would end up destroying the game. I set Destiny on fire, I put Grand Theft Auto San Andreas in a microwave, I broke Bloodborne in half, and of course the ultimate joke was that I actually liked the games in question and would never overreact in the ways that I did in the videos. Although I still stand by all the points that I raised throughout this series. The problems that I highlighted with the games really should have been fixed. But anyway, it was really entertaining and almost therapeutic to keep coming up with new ways to exact my petty revenge on the games. Sadly, the series was dropped after only a few episodes. The problem was that the series was too formulaic. It was pretty much the exact same joke over and over again, and there's only so many times that you can tell the same joke before it starts to become unfunny. In a sense, it's probably for the best that this series ended as quickly as it did. Instead of constantly reusing a stale punchline for ages, I ended up with a short but sweet collection of comedy sketches, and it's always fun for me to revisit them. Games that should have been better may have been over with quickly, but it was a lot of fun while it lasted. Number 7. Plants vs Zombies. This Let's Play has proven time and time again to be both a blessing and a curse. On the positive side of things, this is where the vast majority of my views and subscribers have come from. Plants vs Zombies turned out to be a sleeper hit and gained a lot of widespread attention while I was still in school. It's now by far what I'm best known for, and a couple of people have actually told me that they have very fond nostalgic memories of this Let's Play. That's quite a feat considering that this was the first series of videos I ever published on the internet. The only problem with Plants vs Zombies is that it was too successful. People liked these videos so much that they only wanted me to do Plants vs Zombies, and so every video that I made after was completely disregarded, with a few shining exceptions. So all my best videos were ignored while my worst efforts continued to receive praise. How do you react to something like that? It's like submitting a portrait to an art gallery when it turns out they only want to buy the finger paintings you made when you were a baby. Should you be happy that you found success, or sad that it's only your worst work that gets acknowledged? And believe me, Plants vs Zombies is definitely one of my worst Let's Plays. It's aged terribly due to its poor visual quality and awkward commentary. Plus, my voice could not have been more grating in these videos. It's painfully obvious that this was my first attempt at a real Let's Play. In fact, I think it's a miracle that this series took off like it did. But for all its flaws, Plants vs Zombies still holds a special place in my heart. We all have to start somewhere, and this is where I got my start. Without this Let's Play, my YouTube channel, and ultimately my life in general, would look very different. And because of that, Plants vs Zombies is by far the most important series of videos I've ever made, and so it's more than deserving of a place on this list. Number 6. The Bronze Age. This is an affectionate nickname that I gave to a period of time between the years 2012 and 2013. First, let me explain a bit of backstory. Back in 2011, I actually quit YouTube for a while because it was being really buggy and wouldn't let me upload anything. After some coaxing from my friends, I made my return to YouTube in 2012, but I didn't have any intention of pumping out the same dreck that I did during my first attempt. No, I was going to put some serious effort into my videos. What came out of it was the top 10 creepiest Nintendo moments, my first ever top 10 list and by far the best one I ever made, a collection of somewhat professional game reviews, which have unfortunately been deleted now, and my Let's Plays of Paper Mario Sticker Star and Pokemon Diamond. Personally, I think these two Let's Plays were among the best I've ever done in my entire history of making videos. The Bronze Age was a very important period in my career as a YouTuber, as it marked the first time that I'd actually started taking YouTube seriously. It was the first occasion that I genuinely wanted to put out some good quality stuff with genuine effort behind it, rather than just rushing out videos as fast as possible and hoping that people watch them. Now, of course, that didn't necessarily mean that my videos were a huge step up from my previous work. In terms of visual and audio quality, there was very little improvement to speak of. That style of video had pretty much become a trademark of mine by that point, but in terms of entertainment value, I'd say that the Bronze Age was definitely a step in the right direction. Number 5. Spelunky Daily Challenges and Let's Fail Team Fortress 2. I couldn't decide which of these series I liked better, so I just stuck them both on here. Similar to Let's Try, these were two series that I updated on occasion whenever I was bored and had some free time. While I was in university, I didn't have much time for full Let's Plays due to the pressure of having assignments to complete, so I started making videos about two games that didn't actually have stories and could easily be played as much or as little as I wanted. Spelunky and Team Fortress 2. In each Spelunky video, I would play through a daily challenge where a unique level was generated and you had to get the highest score possible. For me, the biggest challenge was to get to the end without dying. For those of you who don't know, Spelunky is infamous for its high difficulty. In each TF2 video, I would just play some online multiplayer matches and hope I didn't make an idiot of myself. Which I did. Regularly. Back in school, my friends were TF2 addicts, and I can only imagine how furious they felt watching me get killed over and over again. As much as I raged at both Spelunky and TF2, I feel like each of the videos made for great viewing experiences. I mean, really, who doesn't like watching a grown man swear at video games? But similar to Let's Try, my interest in these series just sort of dwindled over time. My personal life was taking precedence, and so both of these series were quietly cancelled. And like I said before, once I stop something, it's hard for me to start again, so I doubt I'll ever be returning to either of these series. But if you ever want to see some good quality rage and suffering, just watch some of these videos, they're a great way to waste an afternoon. Number 4. Live streaming. This was a pretty big step up for me in my career as a YouTuber. Throughout my first few years of making videos, everything I posted had been pre-recorded and edited, but in 2014 I started live streaming PS4 games in my spare time. I live streamed all manner of things, from first impressions to GTA Online heist missions with friends to blind let's plays of entire games. In fact, for a short period of time, live streaming became a bigger passion for me than normal video making, as it meant that I only had to do half the work before the videos were ready to go on YouTube. Yes, I'm a very lazy person. Sadly, the live streaming experience was not perfect. For starters, my internet connection at the time was pretty bad, so the final quality of a lot of my live stream videos was really crap. That's why most, if not all of them, have been deleted from YouTube in recent years. Some of them were borderline unwatchable, so I don't think very many people are going to miss them. Plus, I was having a lot of issues with Twitch for some reason. A lot of the comments wouldn't appear in the Twitch chat for me, meaning that I couldn't fully interact with my viewers and I was only getting half of the live streaming experience. So I eventually abandoned the idea of live streaming altogether. Still, even though the fruits of my labour weren't all that much for me to be proud of, I can't deny that I had hours of fun live streaming on my PS4. I can only imagine how much fun I would have had if I'd actually been doing it properly. And who knows, maybe someday I'll go back to live streaming and get to make some actually decent videos out of it. For now though, it's nothing but a memory, but it's a truly cherished one. Number 3. The Bendi Penguin 65 Saga. Did you know that when I was in school, I really wanted to be an actor? Yeah, there's a reason why I didn't pursue it, and I think the Bendi Penguin 65 Saga sums it up quite well. My acting is abhorrent, and it has been for the 2.5 decades that I've been alive. I mean, hey, just listen to how monotone my voice is while I'm reading the script for this video. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. The Bendi Penguin 65 Saga was a series of videos that I made back in 2015. The series was inspired by a joke comment that someone left on one of my videos. At the time, I was using the pseudonym Bendi Penguin 64 for my channel name, and somebody wrote a comment asking where the other 63 Bendi Penguins were. I seized the opportunity to make up the craziest backstory for my channel name that I could possibly think of, without the use of drugs, and I decided that the story had potential to be turned into an actual series. So I wrote, filmed and starred in a 6-episode series about a group of misfits being hunted down by a psychopath. The actual series is a lot less epic than I just made it sound. Honestly, the Bendi Penguin 65 Saga is very poorly produced. The acting sucks, the special effects are laughable, the writing is poor, and the dialogue is littered with references that were dated even at the time. But at the end of the day, this series was a hell of a lot of fun to make. If I had more free time and some decent acting skills, I'd love to do a series of videos like this again. I even had a couple of stories planned, including a full-length movie. Yes, I had an idea for an actual movie in my head that would have acted as a sequel to the Bendi Penguin 65 Saga. Maybe someday I'll actually make it, or at the very least write a script for it. But until that happens, we have the original series. It's not great, but considering just how much fun I had with it, I'd hardly say that any time was wasted. Number 2. Source Filmmaker Animations. Acting wasn't my only passion when I was in school. I also wanted to be an animator for a brief period of time. And again, there's a reason why I never pursued it. Animation is very difficult to master. It's a skill that requires a lot of patience, and therein lies the biggest problem. I have no patience, but that didn't stop me from experimenting with Source Filmmaker back in the early 2010s. I went through a bit of an animation addiction where I tried to crank out as many videos as I could in the fastest time possible. As a result, a lot of SFM animations that I made turned out to be lousy. The animation in most of these videos is extremely stilted, and of course I was usually the only guy doing any voice acting. This turned out to be a recipe for disaster, and so most of my SFM library is less than great, which is a shame because I feel like I had some pretty good ideas. It was just the execution that was terrible. But at the end of the day, I'm not just here to judge the quality of these videos. I'm also here to take a look at how much fun I had making them, and these videos were an absolute boatload of fun to make. As bad as some of them are, the production process for each one has been a blast. Every now and then I'll revisit these videos and think about just how exhilarating it was to put them together and then watch the completed product. Maybe someday, when I have a bit more free time, I'll go back to making SFM animations. I still have a few ideas that could be turned into great videos. But first, I need to master the art of patience. Number 1. The Let's Play Renaissance. This is the big one, the pinnacle of my YouTube channel. Well, it is in my opinion at least. After the Bronze Age that I mentioned before, my channel started to take a bit of a dip in quality. You see, I came to YouTube with one goal in mind, to make Let's Plays of games that I loved. But somewhere down the line, I forgot who I was. I stopped putting all my effort into Let's Plays and moved on to other things. This led to a sheer inconsistency in my video output. I was going through an identity crisis and had no idea what I truly wanted to do. I just started making videos about anything and everything. Sure, this led to a lot of my favourite YouTube memories that I've already discussed on this list, but it also led to a lot of really lousy and stupid videos that I really wish I hadn't bothered making. For every good video I made between 2014 and the first half of 2015, there was a bad video to counteract it. But one day, I decided that I wanted to go back to my roots and become the Let's Player that I was always meant to be. So in the summer of 2015, I bought a video capture card and started recording a Let's Play of Ratchet & Clank on the PS2. This kickstarted the greatest year and a half of my entire YouTube channel. Between the second half of 2015 and the entirety of 2016, a period of time that I've affectionately nicknamed the Let's Play Renaissance, I released hit after hit. Simpsons Hit and Run, Ty the Tasmanian Tiger, Crash Bandicoot, and that's only naming a few. These were by far the best videos I had ever made in my entire history of YouTube. Okay, I'll be the first to admit that they didn't get very many views, but the sheer quality and entertainment value was revolutionary for my channel. I caught lightning in a bottle with the Let's Play Renaissance, and I highly doubt I'll ever put out such great content so consistently again. If you ever want to see the best videos that I have to offer, I would highly recommend that you check out my Let's Plays of Grand Theft Auto 3 and Rayman. I promise they're a lot more entertaining than some of the other dross I've put out over the years. Overall, the Let's Play Renaissance was not just a lot of fun to be a part of, it was also an important period in my career as a YouTuber, and I can honestly say that my channel wouldn't be the same without it. And that's why it's my number 1 favourite YouTube memory. So there you go, that's a brief history of my favourite moments and events that have taken place throughout the almost 7 years I've spent making YouTube videos. Through the good times and through the bad times, I'm still online making videos to this very day. And of course, thank you so much to every single person that's ever watched my videos. Thank you for 1,000 subscribers. Thank you for all the support you guys have given me. Never stop being awesome. And please, keep leaving comments. I read every single one. And until next time, my name is Ben, Spyrotechnical, Bendi Penguin 64, that lanky British guy, the freak who likes ponies, whatever you want to call me. Peace out, YouTube.